Hello and welcome. I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, your personal astrophysicist and host of the long-running podcast, Star Talk. With expert guests and comedic co-hosts, it's where science, pop culture, and humor collide. For each episode, we explore everything under the sun, or rather, under the universe. And for the next 20 minutes, I'll be your guide through the galaxy of SiriusXM's podcast network. Think of me as an audio assistant for today's program. Less Chat GPT and more Chat deGrasse Tyson, or Chat DGT for short. To start our journey, I'm pleased to introduce an innovator and leader in audio media. Welcome to the stage, the CEO of SiriusXM, Jennifer Witz.
My first time at the Podcast Upfront, and I've got to tell you, we've got a pretty amazing show for you today. At SiriusXM, our vision is to shape the future of audio where everyone is effortlessly connected to the voices, stories, and music they love. And as the largest audio company in North America, we are committed to reaching listeners everywhere they are, whether they're in the car, at home, or on the go, with the great audio experiences that amplify and inspire every moment. We fuel fandom, and we give audiences, passionate audiences, the content they crave, from sports and music to talk and news. And we are home to hosts and personalities that are on the cutting edge of culture, people ahead of the trends or even starting them, and creating emotionally engaging experiences with must-hear moments happening across our portfolio every day. In the more than 2 decades that I've spent at SiriusXM, one of the most important shifts we've witnessed in the audio space is the emergence and evolution of podcasts. Today, podcasting is a key part of our business, and we're the only ones giving legendary podcasters a new platform on SiriusXM, while at the same time introducing the biggest stars on our roster to podcasting. And earlier this year, we introduced the SiriusXM Podcast Network, a truly unparalleled content portfolio that encompasses all that we offer, from the shows we produce in-house to those that we distribute and monetize. Not only are we one of the biggest players in the podcast industry, I truly believe that the team at SXM Media is the absolute best at what they do. So to tell you more about that, please join me in welcoming the Senior Vice President of Ad Innovation, Lizzie Widholm.
I didn't want to leave backstage. You guys, Conan is killing it back there, so we're going to need to go quick. No, we're going to have him out here. Thank you, Jennifer. It's so exciting to be here. We're in the home stretch, you guys, so buckle up. It's going to be a great end. It's been a long time coming to introduce you to SXM Media, and I can't wait to walk you through what we've been up to. I think we can all agree, I'm not the only one that said it, podcasting is an untapped gold mine for advertisers. It's the reason we're all here. It's the reason you're all here, and many of you online. I think there's like 3,000 people watching. I feel like it's a little bit like a Peloton class, like you all are here, but there's so many of you out there. Right? If you know, you know. SiriusXM Podcast Network, what is it? We are the #1 podcast network with a diverse portfolio of shows and an even more diverse audience. Our show is stacked today. I can't wait to take you through it. I'm a little bit like your master of ceremonies, not the funny one. He's back there. And you're going to hear from the biggest stars in our portfolio. But there's 3 things I want you to take away from this presentation. 1, yes, we have the star power. From rising stars to new talent, up-and-comers in the space. And the talent that's going to be here today, they're going to talk about their excitement for podcasting and share with you what they want to do and the unique partnership opportunities they're looking to attract with advertisers. We're also going to talk about everything beyond our star power, which is the leading ad tech and scale that is powering our network. Yes, there's a lot of science and proprietary ad tech. We've been at this for over a decade. In fact, I've been at this for 17 years. So we're really excited about what we're building in the ad tech and sort of platform space. And we currently reach 63 million US listeners. It's a lot of listeners across our owned and operated shows, as well as all of our partnerships. So there's SXM Podcasts, we've got Stitcher Studios, Team Coco, Audio Chuck, Crooked, and many more. There's over half of America listening to our podcasts. And lastly, the true reason why we're here today is because SXM Media and the SiriusXM Podcast Network has a little mantra, and we kind of are using it as a little bit of a rallying cry within our company, which is podcasts made better. And what does that exactly mean? Well, podcasts are amazing, and the listening experience, and everyone's been talking about it today, so authentic and so special, and we want to be an enabler of that healthy experience in this entire ecosystem. And so we want to be a contributor that does it right, and we want to keep the intimate listening experience the way it is. We want to build a platform where creators can make money. Yes, they want to make money, and they want you to be a part of their shows, and to build that platform matters to us. And that's how we're going to do it. We're going to just continue to strive towards making podcasts better. Okay, but you want to see these guys. So we have a real show for you today. We're about to run through our biggest genres, from Ashley Flowers, who is the queen of true crime, to DeRay McKesson, who does news but does it different, to Conan O'Brien in comedy. But to kick off our time in culture and society, that's where we're going to start our journey. Chances are you, like me, were loving Kelly Ripa back when you were wearing low-slung jeans. Maybe you were wearing a dress over your jeans because that was in style in 01 when she started her morning show. But she's got so much wit and the most electric personality, and she has a new podcast out, Let's Talk Off Camera with Kelly Ripa. So you guessed it, Kelly Ripa. Come on out here, girl.
Hi. Who here does not have a podcast? Oh my gosh, so many. It's your time, it's coming, I'm telling you. I am very excited to be here today, to be a part of this SiriusXM Podcast Network. I would much rather be in this room with all of you than outside in that gorgeous sunshine any day of the week. Who even knew that podcasts had an upfront? I did not know that. And I, for one, am thankful and grateful once again to be in this room with all of you good advertising people instead of outside in the gorgeous sunshine. You know, after 23 years of doing a live morning talk show every day and interviewing celebrities and authors and musicians, I always notice that the most interesting and introspective conversations that I had with people happened backstage, off camera. The guests were actually, much more themselves without a camera on them. It's amazing what people will reveal to you when there are no cameras rolling. So I had always dreamed of having a platform where I could have these honest conversations, and a podcast is the perfect medium for that. And as a bonus, I get to wear sweatpants. And sometimes, I'll let you in on a little secret, I don't wear pants at all. I recently launched my new podcast. It's called Let's Talk Off Camera with Kelly Ripa. It is a place where I can dig really deep and have honest discussions about a whole host of topics by some of my best friends and some of Hollywood's biggest celebrities. We've been graced with stars like the legendary Carol Burnett, who just turned 90, by the way. And yes, we can applaud that. Okay, are you not applauding Carol Burnett turning 90? Woo! Turns out ad salespeople are monsters. We also had Academy Award winner Matthew McConaughey, and speaking of McConaughey, it was our fledgling little podcast that unearthed the very real possibility that Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson may or may not be biological siblings. So, you're welcome. Okay. Nothing has made me happier than turning my oldest son's former bedroom into our podcast studio now that he's moved out. No hair, no makeup, just revealing conversations without a stage manager counting me down. And what we all want to take away from this experience, and experiences like this today, are deep talks with a variety of people, all while selling ethically mined diamonds and at-home diaper services and protein bars. And again, for that, I thank you. Thank you again for welcoming me into the SiriusXM family. I hope you won't get sick of me, because I don't know if you've heard, but I tend to stick around at jobs for a long time. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Beyonce represents what so many people of color have to deal with at work. You don't get the thing you deserve, but you got to smile and take a consolation prize from the guy who shouldn't have even got the fame.
You're getting the rules, the tactics, the strategies that are going to empower you to have these hard conversations.
Every single person gossips. It's human nature to gossip.
Our next podcaster revolutionized one of the most popular genres in the portfolio. She's captivated not only her loyal fan base, but also fresh audiences with gripping stories and meticulous research as she examines some of the most fascinating and puzzling true crime cases in history. Please welcome CEO and founder of AudioChuck and host of the hit podcast Crime Junkie, the queen of true crime, Ashley Flowers.
Hello. When I started AudioChuck back in 2017, I really started it with a mission. I wanted to change the way that people created true crime content, the way you consume and interact with true crime content, and that is really resonating with people. I mean, we can see that our entire slate of shows have premiered at #1. They have garnered 2 billion with a B downloads as of this month. And we are reaching people in over 170 different countries. But I know that it's resonating with people, and I know we're doing what we came to do because of the impact we've been able to make in our advocacy work, which some people don't know about or sometimes gets forgotten, but it's why we started in the first place. In the last 5 years, we have partnered with over 100 nonprofits. We have given back $5.5 million to organizations and causes that support our core mission. And the work that we've done has actually gone on to make an impact in real cases. We've given John and Jane Doe's their name back after decades. We have helped solve cold cases where someone has been, actually the perpetrator's been named and arrested. Just a couple of weeks ago, because of one of our Crime Junkie episodes, a guy who has been sitting in prison, they found out there's new evidence, and he's potentially going to get his life back. And I only got 2 minutes. I can't tell you the whole story. Find me after. It's incredible. But it's not just Crime Junkie. We have this whole slate of shows that are founded on the same principles. And I know to a lot of brands, to a lot of agencies, true crime seems a little scary. It seems a little taboo. But this is true crime done in a new way. And I know, we couldn't be here without our fans. They're the ones who hit play every day. They're the ones who are taking action afterwards. But I also know, and what those same fans know, is that we couldn't be here doing what we're doing, the advocacy that we're doing, without the advertisers that support us. And we've got this amazing, engaged fan base that wants to take action. They're socially conscious. They want to support brands who are supporting missions that they believe in. And what they believe in and what they are wanting to see is in the true crime community. So just a huge thank you. You know, it's been a 5-year journey, and so many of you in this room have been with us along the way. And I just want to say thank you to all of you who have been, who've made the last 5 years possible. And I am so excited for what's to come in the next 5 years. Who knows where podcasting will be then, but I hope that each and every one of you will be along with us for the journey. So thank you so much.
The mystery has lingered for decades.
It kind of consumes you.
A good story is a powerful thing. A good story can change laws, change lives, even change history.
This feels like such a huge win. Could not have done it without you guys. I'm so proud of you. It's such a big day.
Our next guest is an activist, author, and educator who has dedicated his life to fighting for social justice, equality, and inclusion. He authored the critically acclaimed book, On the Other Side of Freedom, The Case for Hope, and he's a leading voice in the Black Lives Matter movement. Everyone, please welcome to the stage the co-host of Crooked Media's award-winning podcast, Pod Save the People, DeRay McKesson.
The news is not simply a recap of what happened. The news is a result of the choices we make about what are the most important stories to tell and to tell again. And we should and can be clear about what choices inform those things. When I hear the world with your ears, what do I hear? When I see the world with your eyes, what do I see? Those are the questions that ground us at Crooked. Because we know that hearing the world with only one set of ears and seeing the world with only one set of eyes is the way it's always been done. And that one set of ears has not always heard freedom songs or the front porch conversations of women or the backroom conversations about resistance to oppression. And that one set of eyes has often seen more fear than hope, has not always seen the consequences of public policy, and has not really seen the contours of the daily life of people like my grandmother. Now, every day, I meet people who remind us that we heard the world the way they heard it, that we saw the world the way they saw it, or better yet, that we helped them see something new, or that we helped them hear with new ears. Vote Save America, which is our platform about action, has gotten over 270,000 people to register to vote in the past 6 years since we started Crooked. And that's only a slice of our impact. When we think about our work, we are trying to get people to hear something new, to think of something new, and this is the moment. People are hungry to hear new stories, to see new things, to be a part of a conversation about the news a little bit differently. At Crooked, we built more than an audience. This is a community. This is something like home. Every day we learn a little bit more, and our ears and our eyes get better with time. I'm DeRay McKesson, the host of Pod Save the People. We're coming up on our 300th episode, and we invite all of you to be a part of our community, to listen with us, to see with us, and to help us change the world.
I'm willing to bet this is a story you probably have not heard, but I am also willing to bet that you will think it is worth hearing.
I've spent the better part of 15 years covering every corner of this country, from the streets of Chicago and New Orleans to the heartland of the Midwest. I've told the stories of everyday Americans.
We're not just talking about what's broken, but what each of us can do to fix it.
He's amazing, right? They're all amazing. You get up here and you're like, oh, never done anything with my life. After you hear what DeRay's been up to. Thank you, DeRay. It's been so exciting to see everything we have across news, pop culture, crime, but that's not all. The SiriusXM Podcast Network spans 2,500 podcasts across every genre you can think of, and we're continuing to follow the listeners and invest in the content that they can't get enough of. And as you can see, our podcast leadership position by partnering with these biggest shows out there. So that's why we're leading, from Crime Junkie to Office Ladies. We didn't even talk about Dateline, which is huge, and many more. But it's not just the content we're investing in, right? There's so much more to building this, and it's just the tip of the iceberg in our continuing goal to make podcasts better. Our solutions have been designed to help you achieve maximum scale and impact with one buy. It is not easy to buy in podcasting, and those of you that are on the agency side know, I see so many heads nodding. They're like, why is nobody talking about how hard it is to buy podcasting? We know, we get it, we're here, we're working really hard to build the technology to do so, and you saw some of those partners in our technology and measurement space here earlier. Our podcast audience, and one of the things I love most about this genre, or I should say this medium in audio, is its incremental reach. So not that much has been talked about today in terms of incrementality, but we have measured 1,000 campaigns over the last quarter to try to get a sense of how much incrementality really is there in podcasting. So a streaming order and adding podcasting, and the average incremental reach is 39% when you add podcasting to streaming orders. So this audience is different. It's because they want DeRay's news versus the other news, right? They're different types of customers and consumers. And our ads, we handle everything. When I say ads, I mean all that creative that's different than your streaming creative. And you want it to be different because the show needs to sound good. And we handle it all from ideation to execution. We're so grateful to have Studio Resonate, which is our in-house creative agency. And they help take your entire brand brief and build the messaging that'll be really complementary to the experience and the environment that is podcasting. And then the transaction capabilities. Programmatic, really important, and we're diving really deep into making sure that we can transact for you programmatically as well as at the show level. And we're making some really good enhancements with AI. We haven't talked too much about it. Maybe we'll have Neil come back and announce our AI work, but I think there's a lot of opportunity with creative to grow the diversity of advertisers, really small and up to big, that can get involved in this space. And we are leaders in measurement. We believe firmly in the ability to measure, find out your return on ad spend, be able to report back to your business partners that you're doing well. And so we want to measure everything from awareness to foot traffic to recall. We're completely agnostic. We will work with all of your vendors and do work with all the leading vendors in the space today. No matter your objective, we want to make sure you can measure it. And finally, we've been strengthening the host-fan relationship by taking our shows outside of the studio and on the road and into additional monetization channels. Great for advertisers to work with these great creators and take themselves on the road. In fact, Ashley, she just finished her tour, The Deck. If anybody listened to that show, she did a live tour and it was incredible. And all of the advertisers that were involved in that experienced 3 times the value that we had forecasted. So I think audiences like you want to be in person and they want to meet their favorite podcasters in person. So we'll continue to do more live. And we've talked about a lot of genres today, but one of the fastest growing genres in terms of not only size but ad spend, which was reported by IAB today, is comedy. Our comedy hosts are the best in the business and some of the most long-standing comedians out there, meaning they've been amassing loyal audiences for a very long time. So when they jump into podcasting, they tend to do very, very well. So I would love for you to check out our sizzle, and then we have a little surprise. It is Sam Carell in the studio on Office Lady.
I'm gonna tone it up. welcome y'all to the 10th anniversary of The Read.
He has tears around his eyes.
No, that's not tears.
He really does.
I'm allergic to you.
This is unusable.
Well, I think I'm funny, but I'm not as funny as this guy. So I need a friend to come on and help me out to talk about comedy. Conan, my friend, my neighbor, the guy that thinks he has a large head, but I don't think he does. Come on out.
Thank you very much. Don't stand. Thank you. It's not necessary. It's an upfront. Thank you for having me. Thank you all for being here. You know what's embarrassing? Neil deGrasse Tyson is backstage.
I know.
He's here, and he's just talking into a microphone and eating chocolates.
They give us 20 minutes. It's so rude.
I know.
So rude.
Lovely to be here, and thank you. I think you have some questions for me. Are we
well,
going to sit?
Did you want to do something else?
No, I'm fine to sit.
Okay.
I'm fine.
I feel like your legs are the long part, so if you would sit, then we would.
My hips are right here.
Okay, so you're kind of a big deal. I know. But you're the iconic part of our iconic.
Thank you.
So, top 20 podcasts in 2023. I've heard some people throw some numbers around today, but you have over 8 million downloads of your show per month.
Yes.
90.
Actually, I think it's up to 4 billion
downloads
every 6 months.
Lifetime.
I'm not good at numbers, but I believe, yes, it's over 25 billion within one cycle, which I think goes month to month.
Yeah.
And then you amortize it.
But then you have to do it in arrears, and then you have to get an effective
It's
rate
up to 75
of
billion
impressions.
people worldwide. Again, don't hold me to these numbers, but these are incredible numbers.
And your people like you. 98% of your listeners listen every single show. So
Wait,
you only
what-
piss off 2%.
Wait a minute, wait. I've never even heard that. What is
It's
that?
a real number.
98% people like you? If
yeah.
you have my personality, where do you go? You go to the 2%. What's their problem?
I think they lose their phone,
I think you're right.
and then they're not
They
there
get
the next
locked
week.
out and they
Yeah.
forget that's it.
So why podcasting?
We started it, I did a late night show for 28 years, and it started just as a fun experiment. I really did it just for fun, and then it blew up, and I love it. It's a completely different experience. I come from this old school, that's the school that I came into, of Johnny Carson had just stepped down, and there's like 3 late night hosts. You talk to someone for 7 minutes, you're done, band, music, noise. And then there was this opportunity to sit and talk to people for over an hour. And I absolutely love it. I adore it. And what happens is you get a different kind of interaction with the fans. It used to be that I was projecting comedy out to people for an hour every night, and it was a one-way conversation. And now it's a two-way conversation because I'm really talking to people, and for example, I've only been in New York about 24 hours, but so many people come up to me on the street, they say I'm a loyal listener, and we are friends. They know more about me than friends in my life.
So is that weird? Because you were a celebrity for so long, but it's, to your point, there's a veneer when there's TV.
Yep.
And now you're putting more of yourself out there. So
Yeah.
what does that feel like at this stage of the game?
I like it because it's more authentic. So what I like about it is that, for example, last night I was headed to dinner and this woman stopped me on the street and she talked to me about how much she liked the podcast, and I said, would you like a selfie? And this is a true story, it happened just last night. I said, would you like a selfie? And she said, no, I'm good. And, and I said, you sure you don't want a selfie? And she said, wow, you're just as needy as you are on the podcast. And it was really, and my friend, my college roommate was there with me, and he was laughing really hard, and he was saying, that's such a perfect moment. But she knew me. She wasn't like, oh my God, it's you.
Yeah.
So she's just like, oh, it's Conan. I hear him every day. And here he is being exactly that person with me on the street.
So you have Team Coco. This is your network, and
Yep.
you're bringing the best and brightest, youngest into podcasting. What's
Yeah.
the advice you give for them? How are you building their shows?
You know, the big thing that we've been trying to go with is quality over quantity. There's a lot of people that are gotta have a podcast.
No, you don't say.
No, it's true. It's like
Oh,
everybody,
yeah?
Exactly. Everybody you meet on the street, someone comes to fix your drain, they have a podcast, which is, by the way, is very good. But we've been trying to take it really slow and find people that are very good at this, and we have some surprises coming up that we are not allowed to talk about yet. But I really love our roster of talent. They're very committed, they have loyal following, and I think that's the way to do it, which is not try to overwhelm with, we're going to unveil 35 podcasts this year, because it's just not tenable.
Yeah.
You want to make sure they're good.
I know. I wish we could have you for an hour, so I have one last question. A lot of advertisers in the room.
Where do they have to go?
There's probably
Seriously.
billions of dollars worth of spending power in this room.
Who
right,
here is going to
everybody?
get mad if we go like a minute long? I don't think we're going to get mad.
There's like things they said they were going to spray.
Is there an open bar at this? Seriously, I don't know. I'm asking. This crowd is terrified.
Can you stay on topic?
What is wrong with you people?
Can you
I'm
stay
asking
on
you if there's an
topic?
open bar. It's a simple question.
Did you?
Is
yeah.
there?
Yes.
Who here? Have you had a drink yet today?
No.
Or do you get a drink after this? That's why you want me off the stage. I was trying to pick up on the hidden tension in the room.
Right? Conan, they'd give them drinks.
Of course,
The
yes.
TV upfronts is where they drink. We're serious business people.
Oh.
I know.
Okay,
So,
I'm just curious.
Advertisers, they're here.
Yeah.
Tell me, what's the secret to an advertiser comes to you? Maybe you shouldn't tell the secret. Tell like the horror stories of an advertiser that's like, you have to read it like this, and then it doesn't work out.
Well, the nice thing about being me, one of the only nice things about being me is that I've been doing this a long time, and my voice is my voice, my personality is my personality, and there's no changing that now. So we make it very clear to advertisers, if this is a fit, happy to do it. And what I do is I really have fun and enjoy reading the ads, and my personality comes out, I think, and then my Sona will be laughing and Matt will be laughing. And so there's a sense that we are not fabricating ourselves to move product. That's not what we're doing. I'm talking about the products. The only product or the only ad that I'm always serious about is BetterHelp, which is for online therapy for people, and I don't kid around about that. I think it's it's something I believe in, and talking to people and telling them, if you're lonely or if you're having a lot of depression, this is something I think would be a good avenue for you, because I sincerely believe it's a great idea for people. But then everything else is fair game, and we try to just have fun with it, and I think that's why people like to listen to the ads. We did a show not long ago which was all ad reads, and our fans loved it. Seriously, beginning to end, only ad reads, and it was just the ones where it had really gone off the rail, and it was fun. At best, the ads should be more good comedic content, and you can still get the message out, and there's a fine line you have to walk, but it can be done. And so if people come to us and say, look, we want Conan to use this voice, and he has to do this, and he has to... We tell people, don't be too controlling. Tell us what it is you want to get across, and we will do it. And people listen to the ads, which is fun.
They do.
Yeah.
I think that's a great place to end.
Over 8 billion ads are listened to.
Trillion.
In any 2-day period, which is a real...
Say 5x return on ad spend. That'll make sense.
What's that? I didn't even know what that is.
5x return on ad spend.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
Thank
and so
you.
I'm happy, to chat with people. I think we're having a little... What are we mingling after this?
I
have nowhere to go.
Whatever
and
you
nothing
want to do.
I know in show business I'm supposed to act like I have big things to go do. I have nothing to do. And I really would like to hang out with you people and maybe record some ads for free.
Now you're getting carried away.
They're shaking their head no in the background. But if you have a product you want to move, I'll just record it here on your phone. And let's just get that out there. And no money will change hands. I'm on pills. Thank you.
Thank you.
You beautiful podcast listeners.
don't forget about me, ChatDGT. I want to say goodbye too. No, I'm not actually artificial intelligence, but unlike AI, I have no ambitions of taking over the world. Don't forget to check out all the fun stuff we're doing on Star Talk this year, including our spin-off, Star Talk Sports Edition. You can learn more at SXM Media and StarTalkMedia.com. Thanks for listening. And remember, on Earth and in the universe, it is always best to keep looking up.